What's going on, everybody? This is Trollkingfilms here, and yep, guess what? Second video, not stopping. Thank God. And today with this video, you are seeing Fallout 4 footage captured on the PC. Now this is, I think, rendered at 900p instead of 1080p. I'm not sure, because my monitor's scaling settings are kind of weird. I definitely need to get a better monitor, but whatever, not the point of this video. Anyway, today I saw a video from a YouTuber named ReviewTechUSA, and this video is based off of an article that came up on Polygon yesterday that had to do with Phil Spencer, who's the head honcho of Microsoft's Xbox division, talking about potentially making upgraded Xbox Ones. And there are things that Rich said that I do agree with, and there's stuff I don't agree with, and I wanted to make this video to kind of give my opinion and add on to what he said. Now I'm going to read straight from the article here. During his Xbox Spring Showcase event keynote last week, Microsoft's head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, talked about future of hardware innovation for the console similar to the ways that PCs evolve. In the speech to reporters, he said that the Xbox One could see a future in which it is upgraded rather than replaced by new consoles. Spencer was talking about how Microsoft sought to align its Windows 10 and Xbox One development activities under the internal Universal Windows platform while offering backwards compatibility for many Xbox 360 games now playable on Xbox One. He was addressing the concerns of some Xbox One owners that the exclusives destined for that console are appearing on PC, thus eroding the value of owning a console. And that's a story for a different day, but basically also very recently, within the last few days, Microsoft announced that they will be releasing Forza 6 for the PC under a different title. And it's actually going to be a free game. I think it's called Forza 6 Motorsport Adventure. I have no clue. I'll have to look and see what it is. But anyway, to continue, but he went further, I'm going to correct that, but he went much further than merely outlining internal strategies for cross-platform efficiency. He argued that consoles could and should be upgradable like PCs, that the model of generation shifts may be coming to an end. We see on other platforms, whether it be mobile or PC, that you get continuous innovation that you rarely see on a console, he said. Consoles lock the hardware and the software platforms together at the beginning of the generation. Then you ride the generation out for 7 years or so while other ecosystems are getting better, faster, and stronger. Then you wait for the next big step. And the rest of the article pretty much just goes through how he wants to potentially in the future come out with games that, the new Xbox Ones that can handle all the new games that are coming out at higher resolutions, higher settings, and stuff of that nature. Now here's where I come in and give my opinion. And Rich talked about this in his video over at ReviewTechUSA. One of the big things that he brought up was that people don't want to concern themselves with PCs, which I did mention in my previous video. People don't want to have to work for anything. They don't want to have to worry about, oh, look at this Xbox One. It has this. It has an i3 with a 750 Ti in it. Oh, but this one has an i7 with a 980 Ti in it. They don't want to have to deal with that. That's why all the Steam machines failed. That's why these Alienware alphas aren't doing so well. It's because people don't want to have to think. They want to just be able to turn on that magic button. They want to have the console work, and they don't want to have to think about having to upgrade stuff or change settings or anything like that. And that's why people are like so upset in the comments section of this Polygon article, is because they don't want to have to think about it. They don't want to have to think, oh, well, I could buy this one or this one, but what's the point of this more expensive one? I don't know what these things are. I don't know the difference between an i5 and an i7. They both have 4 cores, don't they? So they should do the same thing. Why am I paying $1,000 more for the i7? And it's just a fact. People don't want to have to spend huge, frivolous amounts of money. It's just a fact. I mean, like, they just don't want to spend money on these things that they don't know what they do. Which kind of brings up my next point, which is just that, more or less, I don't know how to word this properly. I guess the best way to put this is that this is something that I do not agree with Rich on. And what I do not agree with him on is that he said in his video that people don't want to have to look at these models, and well, he said a majority of people are like this, and like a majority of people don't want to have to think, and that's where I have to disagree with him on. Well, my school is indeed filled with a lot of people that are like, ew, PC gaming, what the hell are you using a PC for? Why don't you just buy a PS4? Isn't that so much better? And I just sit there and I scratch my head like, you don't know anything, but you're saying a PS4 is better? Whatever. But that's where I still disagree with him, because I go on a lot of forums looking for news stories. I go on websites looking for news stories, and people are saying the same thing, that there are actually a lot more PC gamers than there are console gamers. Just as an example, EA released their records for this fiscal quarter, and guess who was leading their charts? PC. Next came PS4, and then Xbox One. So yeah, there are actually a lot more PC gamers than there are console gamers. Although where I do kind of see where he makes a point is that if you're just a relative that wants to buy this console for somebody, and you don't know like what to do, like if there's all these different versions of the Xbox One, and they'll be sitting there like, I don't know what to buy. Little Timmy just said that he wants an Xbox One. He didn't say whether he wants this $2,000 i7 one, or whether he wants this $400 i3 one, which is just like, whatever. I understand where you're coming from that, but honestly, a lot of gamers anymore, I mean to say, not just PC gamers, they buy their own consoles. Unless you're a kid, then you usually buy your own consoles. You know what you want. And even if you're telling a relative to get something for you, you're usually telling them, this is what I want. I do not want this. I want this model. Do not get another one. And usually that gets the point across, unless it's like, I don't know, an elderly grandmother that doesn't know what the difference is, and she's like, oh, well, why does he want this one? Why don't I just get him this one? Which is just whatever. I don't care. That's something completely different. And my next point I actually have to say is that people are going to be upset because their old games that they had not their old games, their old Xbox One release year consoles aren't going to be able to run these new games that are for the newer consoles, the newer Xbox Ones, I mean to say. And my one argument against that is that, just as an example, I think it was the new Tom Clancy's The Division, I think it is. They are actually going to include a setting for console gamers where you can turn down certain settings to make it work better. And you could bring that into a whole nother argument where console gamers don't want to have to do that. They just want to turn on the console and have it work. They don't want to have to adjust settings and stuff like that. But that's an argument for a different day. Where I kind of see that he has a point is that, oh boy, this is such a difficult thing to say, but I think that if they can make the games for these new consoles, there's no reason that they couldn't tone it down and for the older consoles. I mean, case in point, PCs. PCs have multiple different versions of the settings to go with. And what I think is that while console gamers might get these new consoles and be like, what the hell? I have to actually do stuff now? But what I think about that is that there's no way to have to season console gamers into having to adjust settings. There's no better way to do it than to just have them do it. I mean, just as an example, I used to be an avid console gamer. I don't think that you could play a game on anything but a console. And then I realized, because I took an IT class this year, I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, I can get so much better, so much more value out of building a PC and gaming on a PC. So why am I gaming on a console? And that's why I didn't want to buy a current gen console this generation. I just don't see a point in it whenever I can buy PC games. And because let's face it, most console exclusives now, because Forza 6 is coming over, that a lot of exclusives are probably going to end up on the new consoles. I mean, the PC. I mean, geez, I'm tired today. I apologize. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Halo 5 Guardians eventually, maybe it might be next year or the year after, ends up coming to PC. Just because I think the companies are going to be like, I don't know, console gaming might eventually end, and if it does, I want to have games out for the PC, because I don't think PC is ever going to be a platform that ends. I mean, let's be real here. With how much that you can upgrade PCs, how streamlined that they are, how easy that they are to use, I think that consoles' days are numbered. And they might not die within this year, they might not die within 2 years, they might not even die within 3, 4, 5, 6 years. But they're going to die eventually, and when they do, consoles are going to rise from the flood. I mean, I'm getting my words all twisted today. PC is going to rise from the ashes, and it's going to continue to prosper. At least that's my opinion. My opinion. Please don't go into the comments section and start raging, even though I know it's still going to happen. So whatever. Just do whatever you want. And I guess that's all I want to talk about. So that is it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to Troll King Films, and I will see you guys later.